But you only laugh at other people's expense.
I laugh to anything, okay? I don't care.
You're laughing.
That's the way I am. I'm laughing with you. You just don't laugh.
Okay.
Right? She's falling asleep. I wanted to tell you. Look at it. Look at it. It's like this. Huh? ¿Qué? I know. That's all. It's falling asleep. This made me get out of my house. I'm so happy. Look at this other guy.
That's all right. I am not one of those people. How are you? I'm doing well. I'm not offended, trust me.
Just like that man. There's some little things that can try to get us fixed. Are you trying to look like Pancho Villa or something?
Yes. Am I doing it?
You're doing it pretty good.
Score.
You're doing pretty well. This is why you're gonna be able to do this.
Yeah.
But this don't
So
go.
it's supposed to work.
No. No, how many shits? Don't worry.
Mother's entire family.
How are you?
Or text me, yeah. That's exactly
No,
what
not
I
good.
said.
You now your brother.
He's laughing at it. He's laughing
Have to go out and make lots for everything.
at everyone.
She's always been that way.
Listo? What is today?
All right.
The 19th. Good afternoon, and welcome to the March 19th meeting of the City Plan Commission. My name is Margaret Livingston, Chair of the Commission, and I will call this meeting to order at 1:33.
The City Plan Commission has sole and final approval authority over subdivision maps. Although the Commission has sole and final authority with respect to subdivision approval, this authority is statutorily limited to a ministerial examination of the application's conformance to all applicable code provisions. The staff report for an agenda item may include conditions, exceptions, or modifications. If the Commission does not wish to approve the exception or modification or require a condition, then the Commission's motion will state which have not been approved. Otherwise, the staff report with all modifications, exceptions, and conditions is approved, and the applicant shall comply with all provisions of the staff report. All agenda items other than subdivision items will be conducted in the form of a public hearing. The chairperson of the commission may allocate and limit the time of persons speaking before the commission. The normal process is as follows. First, the commission will hear a staff report followed by a statement from the applicant. Then members of the public may speak, followed by any final statement from the applicant. Finally, the matter will be closed to the discussion amongst the commission. The commission shall then make a recommendation that will be forwarded on to City Council.
Thank you. Any changes to the agenda?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the Commission. Kevin Smith with Planning Inspections. There are a number of items, but first I just want to say we're going to try our best to have an efficient meeting today. Just with the current climate, we're having limited staff here. Some of the applicants may not be here as well. I would also encourage members of the audience to spread out if they can to appropriate distances.
They look pretty spread.
Okay, perfect. There's plenty of space. So with that being said, we are asking that item 15 be deleted from the agenda. We'll bring that back at a later time. We're just trying to keep to the business at hand. There are a number of revised staff reports. And just of note, there's one item on the consent agenda.
Okay. Can we get a motion to accept the deletion?
So moved.
Second.
Aye.
All in favor?
Second.
Aye.
Okay. Call to the public. This time's reserved for members of the public who are not here, who would like to address the City Plan Commission on any items that are not on the City Plan Commission agenda and that are within the jurisdiction of the City Plan Commission. No action shall be taken. There was a sign-up sheet outside that you would have needed to sign up for prior to 1:30, which no one did. We do have one item on the consent agenda. We can SU 20-00008. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Debbie, are you there? Did we lose Debbie?
I'm here.
Okay.
That was an aye, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I just didn't hear you talking. We'll go ahead and move on to the regular agenda. Item number 2 is SU 20-00014. There you are. There you went.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Commissioners, Nelson Ortiz with Planning and Inspections. I'll be presenting item number 2 on behalf of Luis Zamora. Item number 2 is Hidden Village Unit 2, a major preliminary application. This is the area of the subject property. The property is south of Sean Haggerty Drive and west of Dyer Street within District 4. This is the subdivision superimposed onto the aerial. The applicant is proposing to subdivide approximately 40 acres of vacant land into 220 single-family residential lots, 1 park, and 1 stormwater pond. Primary access to the subdivision is from Dyer Street and from Hidden Links Place. The applicant is requesting an exception to exceed the maximum street length for Block 2 pursuant to Section 1915-08. Per that same section, the length of a block segment may exceed the maximum length stated in above when the development abuts existing development and no right-of-way have been provided. With that, staff and the DCC do recommend approval of Hidden Village Unit 2 on a major preliminary basis and approval of the exception request. That'll conclude my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? May we hear from the applicant?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Jorge Ascarate with CA Group for the record, and we concur with all staff comments.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? Go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Item number 3, SU 20-00010.
Item number 3 is Cimarron Sage Commercial Park Unit 3, a major combination, and I'll be presenting this on behalf of Mr. Zamora as well. This is the area of the subject property showing that it is currently vacant. The property is located west of Resler and south of Paseo del Norte within District 1. Plat superimposed onto the aerial. This is the preliminary plat and the final plat. The applicant is proposing to subdivide approximately 18.5 acres of vacant land into 8 commercial lots, 1 stormwater pond, and 2 streets. Primary access to the subdivision is from Resler Drive and from Paseo del Norte Boulevard. The application is being reviewed under the 1983 subdivision code and complies with the Ranchos Las Lomas land study, which was approved back in 1983. My apologies, 1988. The applicant is requesting 2 exceptions to allow the cross-section for Cimarron Emporium Place and Cimarron Galleria Place. The proposed cross-section, you can see there on the screen, is requesting 36 feet of roadway, 5-foot landscape parkway, and 5-foot sidewalk. And the second exception is to allow a roundabout at the intersection of Cimarron Emporium Place and Cimarron Galleria Place. With that, staff and the DCC do recommend approval of Cimarron Sage Commercial Park Unit 3 on a major combination basis, as well as the exception requested. And that'll conclude my presentation.
Any questions for staff? Can we hear from the applicant?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Commissioners. We've reviewed staff comments and, Glenn Brooks,
Thank
CSA
you.
Design Group. We've reviewed staff comments with client. We have no issues, so we concur.
Wow, great. Any questions for Glenn? No? We're gonna go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Glenn. Item number 4, SU 20-00002.
Item number 4 is a major combination application for Julian and Sophie's subdivision. This is the aerial of the subject property. The property is located north of Montana and west of Craig Street within the city of El Paso's extraterritorial jurisdiction. Plat superimposed onto the aerial. This is the preliminary plat and the final. The applicant proposes to subdivide 2.316 acres of land into 2 commercial lots. Primary access to the subdivision is from Cragg Street, and this case is being reviewed under the current subdivision code. The applicant is requesting an exception to Cragg Street to waive 13.5 feet of roadway and the 5-foot sidewalk in front of the subdivision. And they want to keep the existing road as it currently exists. Per 1910-05, the applicant does satisfy the criteria under A, which states that 50% of the lots within a quarter mile of the proposed development have already been developed, and the existing street improvements are in character with the neighborhood. And so with that, staff and the DCC do recommend approval of Julian and Sophie subdivision on a major combination basis, as well as the exception request for Cragg Street.
Thank
And
you.
that'll conclude my presentation.
Any questions for staff? May we hear from the applicant?
Good afternoon, Commissioner Carlos Jimenez with CAC Consultant, and we agree with staff comments.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? Sorry, I forgot the word. No? All right, we'll go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Debbie? Did we lose her?
Yes, she says a
She said aye, okay. Item number 5, SURW 20-00001.
Nelson Ortiz once again. Item number 5 is the Yarbrough ROW Dedication. This is a city-initiated application. This is the area of the subject property. You can see that the right-of-way proposed to be dedicated has already been improved and has existed as a public, or I should say, has existed as a right-of-way for quite some time. This is basically just formalizing the dedication and making it public. The right-of-way is north of the border highway at Yarbrough within District 7. This is the location map. These are the surveys of the subject property. There are 3 parcels. The first parcel is being dedicated by the city of El Paso. The parcel B, which is there in the middle, is being dedicated by El Paso Water Utilities. And parcel C, the third one, is being dedicated by the city of El Paso. This is the survey showing the 3 parcels all together. It is approximately 750 linear feet, and the total acreage being dedicated is 3.61. So again, the applicants are requesting to dedicate 3.61 acres of land as public right-of-way. Currently, the area is improved and functions as public right-of-way. However, it has not been formally dedicated as public right-of-way. This request will formalize the dedication. And those are the existing street improvements. And so staff and the DCC do recommend approval of the Yarbrough right-of-way dedication.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? Is there applicant representative here?
Good afternoon. Ismael Cepeda from Capital Improvement Department, Project Manager.
Okay. You agree with all staff comments?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant? Nope. Great. We'll go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 6, SURW 20-00002.
Item number 6 is the Isela Rubalcaba right-of-way dedication. This is also a city-initiated application. This is the area of the subject property. Even though it shows that the road hasn't been improved, it has since been improved since this aerial was taken. The subject property is west of I-10 at Isla Rubalcaba, within District 1. To the north is a city park. To the south is some residential development, as well as Canutillo High School. This is the location map. These are the surveys of the various different parcels that comprise the roadway. A total of 2.9 acres is being dedicated. The applicants are requesting to dedicate 2.98 acres of land as public right-of-way. Currently, the area is improved and functions as public right-of-way. However, it has not been formally dedicated as public right-of-way. And again, this request formalizes the dedication. These are the existing conditions. You could see it has been improved. So with that, again, staff and the DCC recommend approval of the Isla Rubalcaba right-of-way dedication.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? May we hear from the applicant?
This is Ismael Cepeda with Capital Improvement Department, Project Manager.
And you agree with all staff comments?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? Go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
To approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Thank you.
There she is.
Item number 7, SURW 19-00005.
Another one.
Item number 7 is the Roseway right-of-way dedication. This is also a city-initiated application. This is the aerial of the subject property. And the location map. The property is located at 8496 Roseway within District 6. This is the survey of the right-of-way proposed to be dedicated, approximately, or I should say 663 square feet, fairly small. The applicant is requesting to dedicate the area or the portion of the property as public right-of-way. Currently, the Roseway and New Haven right-of-ways are being reconstructed through a city's capital improvement project. The project proposes roadway and parkway improvements within this area. This is the subject property. You can see it is currently under construction. Staff and the DCC do recommend approval of the Roseway right-of-way dedication. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? May we hear from the applicant?
Hi, Ismael Cepeda with Capital Improvement Department.
Agree with all staff
We
comments.
agree with the staff comments.
I'm sorry, I lost track of where it was. No, it's already marked it off. Okay. Any questions for the applicant? Nope. We'll go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
To approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 8, SUSU 20-00012.
Okay, item number 8 is Mission Hills Edition Replat A re-subdivision combination application, and I'll be presenting this on behalf of David Samaniego. This is the aerial of the subject property. It has been developed. The property is east of Stanton and north of Canterbury within District 1. This is the plat superimposed onto the aerial. The preliminary plat and the final. The applicant proposes to re-subdivide approximately 2.5 acres of land into one school lot, which is the existing one, and one single-family lot. The reason for the re-subdivision is to reconfigure the lot line and a utility easement between lots 1 and 2. Primary access to the proposed subdivision will be provided via Stanton Street. And so with that, staff does recommend approval of Mission Hills Addition Replat A on a re-subdivision combination basis.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? May we hear from the applicant?
Good afternoon, members of the commission. Aaron Alvarado with Brock and Bustillos, and we concur with all staff comments and requirements.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? We'll go ahead and close for further discussion or a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 9, SU 20-00013.
Item number 9 is Mission Estates, a re-subdivision combination application, presenting on behalf of Emily Diaz-Melendez. This is the aerial, currently vacant. Property is west of Pendale and north of Wells within District 7. The plat superimposed onto the aerial. Preliminary and final. And the applicant is proposing to subdivide the area into 2 family lots. Access is proposed from Wells Road. Notices were sent out. We did get 2 calls for inquiry. However, no communication in support or opposition to the request. And staff is recommending approval of Mission Estates on a re-subdivision combination basis. And that'll conclude my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? May we hear from the applicant?
Good afternoon, Chairman, Commissioners. Carlos Jimenez with CAC Consulting, agree with the staff comments.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? Nope. All right, we're going to close for further discussion or a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Item number 10, SU 20-00011.
Right. Item number 10 is Americas Estates Unit 2, Replat A re-subdivision combination application. I'm presenting this one on behalf of Giovanni Francia. The area of the subject property currently vacant. Plat superimposed onto the aerial. The property is north of Paseo del Este and west of Mission Ridge, located within the City of El Paso's extraterritorial jurisdiction. This is the preliminary. Also the preliminary plat. The final plat. The applicant proposes to re-subdivide approximately 19.5 acres of land into 75 single-family residential lots and 1 drainage right-of-way. Primary access to the subdivision is from Mission Ridge Boulevard, Pleasant Crest Avenue, and Stansbury Drive. The subject property is not within the path of annexation, and the subdivision is being reviewed under the former subdivision code. The applicant is requesting a modification to the city's or the required residential subcollector street. This is on your screen is the required residential subcollector, and they're requesting the following 3 cross sections. This modified 52-foot right-of-way, a 61-foot right-of-way, and 77.5-foot right-of-way. They are also requesting a modification to the turning heel radius of 70 feet, and this is consistent with our current standard. Per section 1904-170, the applicant is satisfying the criteria under A3. Just some case history on this. The City Plan Commission did approve the re-subdivision preliminary application for Americas Estates Unit 2 Replat A on July 26, 2018. And they also, at that time, they also approved the same modifications that are being requested today. The only reason why it's coming back is because they have modified the plan slightly to increase the number of lots. Just a handful of lots were added. And so with that, staff, notices were sent out and placed on the El Paso Times on March 4th, 2020, and we received no inquiries. With that, staff and the DCC do recommend approval of the application as well as approval of the modifications requested. And that'll conclude my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? May we hear from the applicant?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Commissioners. Jorge Ascarte with CA Group, and we concur with all staff comments.
Any questions for the applicant? No? Okay, we'll go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Thanks.
Item number 11, PZDS 19-00037.
Good afternoon, Marie Helwig, Planning and Inspections, presenting on behalf of Andrew Sloan. Item number 11 is detailed site development plan for a property along Sean Haggerty and Macomb Street. This is the subject property. It was recently rezoned to PR1, and it is located south of Sean Haggerty and east of Macomb. The site is 11.91 acres and is currently vacant. The request is for detailed site development plan for 84 new single-family dwellings with reduced lot sizes of 3,360 square feet, as well as reduced lot widths of 32 feet. This is the proposed architecture for the site. These are the current surrounding conditions. There's multifamily to the north, as well as single-family to the west and south, along with vacant land for future phases of development. This is the subject property looking east along Macomb, and these are the surrounding properties in their current condition. We have not received any input from the public, and planning and the DCC are recommending approval of the detailed site development plan.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? May we hear from the applicant?
Again, good afternoon, Commissioners. Again, for the record, Jorge Ascarte with CA Group, and we concur with all staff comments.
Thank you. This is under the public hearing section. No one signed up to speak on this item, but if someone here would like to, now would be your opportunity. Nope? Okay. We're going to close for further discussion or motion.
To approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
PZDS 19-00032.
Good afternoon, Chair Commissioners, Ann Gagante with Planning and Inspections. This is a detailed site development plan review of a proposed contractor's yard for a portable sanitary facility business for the property located at 9369 Escobar Drive. Subject property is zoned M1 with a special contract. The special contract is what requires the detailed site development plan review approved by City Plan Commission. This is a view of the subject property as well as its surroundings. And this is the proposed detailed site development plan. There is one existing building shown in yellow and in the photographs on the right. That is going to be used for storage. There is a proposed building shown in orange that is going to serve as the office for the contractor's yard. There's a large area closest to the corner of Escobar and Alsa that is going to be used for outdoor storage. This is the detailed site plan superimposed over the aerial to give an idea what this will look like within the context of its surroundings, all similarly zoned. This is the subject property. It's an older photo. This is viewed from the from ALSA. And then this is in the center, subject property, and then the 4 cardinal directions surrounding conditions, similar to what's proposed. With that, staff and the Development Coordinating Committee are recommending approval of this item. And that
Okay.
concludes my presentation.
Any questions for staff? May we hear from the applicant? He's not here, so we can carry on, right, without him?
Yes.
This is under public hearing section. No one signed up to speak on it. Now would be your opportunity if you cared to. All right, we're going to close for further discussion or motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. PZDS 19-00031.
And Gayante again, presenting this item on behalf of Emily Diaz-Melendez. This is a detailed site development plan review of a proposed apartment complex for the property located at 11050 Montana. Subject property is zoned SD Special Development, which requires CPC approval for properties over 2 acres and with more than 2 buildings proposed, both of which this has. Here is aerial, so you can see the subject property within the context of its surroundings. As you can see, there is single-family adjacency as well as commercial adjacency. This is the detailed site development plan superimposed over the aerial photo so you can see what it would look like within the context of its surroundings. And here is the detailed site development plan showing 2- and 3-story apartment buildings. Per a zoning condition, there is a required 10-foot buffer along the property line sharing a boundary with residential or apartment zoning districts. You can see that this condition is met in this detailed site development plan. This is the elevation showing what the proposed buildings will look like if approved. And then here is current view of the subject property, and here are the surroundings. Planning Division and the Development Coordinating Committee are recommending approval. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for staff?
So they're taking over the easement, right, for the electric company easement? They're gonna use it for parking?
I think you can ask George if that stuff.
I'll defer to the applicant.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's nodding on his way over here anyway.
Good afternoon, George Hello with SLI Engineering, and we agree with all staff comments. And yes, the 100-foot easement is going to be parking and some landscaping.
It's great use, I like it, so.
Good.
I have a question.
Okay.
I may have missed it because the audio isn't real good, but were there notices sent out to the surrounding residential areas, or did it not fall within the limit?
Yeah, it said that detailed site plan does not require.
That is correct. Notices are not required.
There you go. Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Nope. This is under the public hearing section. No one signed up to speak on this item. If someone so wanted to, now would be your opportunity. Well, we're going to go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
To approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Item number 14,
Thank you very
discussion
much.
and action on the City Plan Commission minutes for the March 5th meeting. Hello?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Motion.
To adjourn.
Yeah, you can.
Second.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to quarantine.
All in favor?
Aye.
Everyone stay safe.
Madam Chair, I
Yes.
just want to say thank you to the members for coming today. I know this is a very trying time for us, but we really appreciate you showing up today so we can get all this plat application approved. And also, I want to wish Ms. Marie Algui, I think tomorrow is our last day. She's abandoned us to
Oh, no.
go to greener pasture because we're not good enough for her to begin with. So I just want to wish her the best and
Yes.
thank her for all the things that all the good things she did for us.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you guys for
Good luck.
coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, stay.
Yes, you too.